with this video, we're going to explain the concept of comparative advertisement. And for that, first we'll have a senior advocate explain the concept of comparative advertisement, and then we'll tackle a few of these ads, particular ads, and some of our friends will explain these concepts and what the particular issue in that ad is.
Well, the law on comparative advertising is that you can compare your goods with somebody else's goods. There are, of course, conditions. So, one of the conditions is that even though if you say your goods are better than somebody else's, that may mean that you are sort of denigrating the other person's good to the extent that his goods are worse than yours, but that is permissible. There are two conditions to this. One is that you cannot say that somebody else's goods are rubbish. You can say that your goods are better than his, which means that his goods are worse than yours, but you cannot say that his goods are bad or his goods are rubbish. So you cannot denigrate his goods. The other condition, of course, is that when you say your goods are better than his, that must be true. So if you are comparing it on a particular thing, for instance, if let's say you compare two shampoos, if you say that your shampoo clears dandruff more effectively than his shampoo, then that must be true. You must have data to back up your claim. If it is untrue, that again is not permissible. The third thing is that even if it is true, it should not be misleading. Now, for instance, let me just take this instance of the Head and Shoulders advertisement that is playing out on TV these days, where they compare it with a 1 rupee shampoo sachet, which is Clinic Plus. Now, they say that the Head and Shoulders clears dandruff more effectively in one wash than the Clinic Plus will do in 3 washes, which may be true, but this advertisement may be misleading, and this is an issue which has been argued in the Delhi High Court. Judgment is awaited. But one of the arguments is that even if it is true, it cannot be misleading. This may be misleading because you are comparing apples and oranges. Head and Shoulders is an anti-dandruff shampoo. Clinic Plus is not an anti-dandruff shampoo. So without disclosing this in the advertisement, when you say that, well, Head and Shoulders is much more effective than Clinic Plus, you are giving people the impression that Clinic Plus is also an anti-dandruff shampoo and that it doesn't work. So that also is not permissible. You cannot mislead people even though you may be theoretically correct in what you're saying. So that's broadly the law of comparative advertising, that you can compare, you can say mine is better so long as it is correct and not misleading, but you cannot rubbish somebody else's product.
Allow us now to demonstrate the capabilities of the redefined 6-cylinder BMW 3 Series, fitted with automatic stability control. Observe how ASC prevents the loss of traction on a slippery surface, even under extreme acceleration. Now let us see if any other car can do this. Well, it would appear that even one of our closest competitors can't.
So the advertisement between BMW and Audi. So BMW has shown that their car can do a donut without spinning off, and they've specifically said that it's better than the competitor. And they've also said that the other car, while it's doing its rings, it makes 4 rings, and so that's the actual trademark logo for Audi. So they're directly pointing at Audi, but they've nowhere stated that the Audi product is worse than theirs. They've just said that theirs is better. So according to me, I mean, they're walking a very thin line here. It's that gray area whether it's permissible or not. But I think it should be fine, because nowhere they mentioned Audi as such, and they've just said that their product is better than the products provided by any other competitor.
टाइड है खुशबू है और सफेदी भी और क्या चाहिए हम
मम्मी आंटी चौक क्यों गई?
टाइड से कहीं बेहतर सफेदी दे रिन अब चौंकाने वाले दाम में नया रिन सिर्फ 25 रुपए।
Start. Okay, so in this video made by Rin, they're comparing their product to Tides and showing that their product is better in terms of how white they make, how white the product is after it's cleaned the clothing. While analyzing this video from the perspective of this presentation, we need to look at two things. Firstly, considering the fact that they've mentioned that their product is based on a certain statistical study, it passes the test of truthfulness, and secondly, they're not defaming the product in any way. They're just comparing the two while not stating that the product made by Tide is by any means bad, but that their product is better. Therefore, according to the standard that was laid down previously, I think it suffices that standard. Though one thing which is off in this particular advertisement is that they've not clearly mentioned on what basis it's better, and by no means have they mentioned the authority of the studies that they've done. So aside from that, I think if that is clarified, the advertisement should have no problems.
So in this video, you see a kid going to a vending machine and taking out 2 cans of Coke, and instead of drinking them or consuming them, he just merely uses them as a stand to reach the Pepsi button and take out the Pepsi. Now, when you see this ad, you get the impression that it's no longer a matter of substituting the goods or a matter of plain preference for a customer, but rather it's insulting or dissing the brand of Coke to make a point. And under the rules of comparative advertising, that's not allowed. You cannot claim that somebody else's product is rubbish just to make your own claim.